Morgan, what do you see on the other side tonight? What's the biggest challenge the Rangers present?
Yeah, skilled team. Obviously, when we went into their building last time, they played really well, and they've been good on the road. So, good goalie, deep, good back end. So it's a big challenge for us tonight.
What do you like the most about what you're seeing from Samsonov lately?
He's been playing great. He's confident. He's been working hard during practice days. He's been focused and doing his thing. So when he's rolling, it gives our team a lot of confidence. And with both those guys, we feel really good. Whoever's in the net.
How are you feeling, not only your game but just health-wise since you've come back?
Good. I feel good right now. I feel healthy. The last couple have been good. So just keep pushing, and as a group, we want to get better and keep climbing.
And Marty, you've been John Tavares' teammate now for 4+ years. What have you seen his ability to adapt? We're going on the skating thing is happening this year and all that certainly, but over the 4 years of being teammates, adapt.
Yeah, he works extremely hard at that, and I think just how he's able to produce year after year, and what he's able to bring, no matter the circumstance, and he works hard to add to his game, add skills, and keep working with what he's got, and he spends a lot of time in the offseason on that, and you can tell every year he comes in and he always finds a way to produce and be involved, and obviously this year he's been great, and that ability to continuously adapt and add to your game so you can continue to be productive is impressive.
I know the other morning he was asked by somebody, as he approaches 1,000 games on Sunday, how much you feel like you still have a lot left. Mm-hmm. He said absolutely. Mm-hmm. The impression you guys have as well that keep going for it.
Yeah, I think that's kind of his mentality, is that he just wants to keep going. I don't think he really thinks about the end or how much you have left. He just kind of worries about what he can control right now, and after the season, he'll worry about his training and whatnot. But for now, he's just kind of focused on playing. And but that's his mentality. He loves playing hockey. He loves the grind. He loves the work, and so I don't expect him to stop anytime soon.
What do you appreciate about Mark Giordano's game at this point in his career?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think he just manages the game really well. Obviously, having a lot of experience in the league, he knows how to play the game, and he's picked up tricks along his career. He's picked up, areas of his game you can tell are just experience based. Really doesn't chase the game. He's calm. He has a good feel for when things are going well, and when things need to change, and I think that comes with experience, and I think that he's got that for sure, and he just has that kind of self-confidence out there that he's in the right spots, doing the right thing at the right time, and that goes a long way.
What stands out to you about the Matthews-Marner chemistry?
Yeah, obviously they've played well together in the past, and I think they enjoy playing with one another, and in practice they enjoy working on new things, and I think trying to build that chemistry a little bit, and playing together as much as they have, that kind of comes naturally to players at that skill level, and they continue to work at it, continue to get better, and it's always fun to be out there with them.
How much better do you think those two guys can get?
Like Johnny, they're going to continue to work at it. They really enjoy it, and I think they kind of push one another to a certain degree, and they enjoy the work. They're both guys that want to be in that conversation with the best players in the world, and I think they deserve to be, and they're going to continue to push for that, and I think having each other is great for both of them.
I was going to say, just on Samsonov, I'm wondering what you thought of his assist the other night.
Yeah, great play. He knew what was going on up ice. Obviously, made a good play to turn it up quick, and then ends in a goal. He gets a point, and so I think that was a great moment for him. A great play, helped our team a lot, and at that point in the game, so obviously it goes a long way.
Mithy, what sort of challenge do you see from the Rangers side tonight?
Yeah, they're a good team. Play good on the road, and obviously they beat us when we played in New York. So good matchup for us, and we're ready for it.
Why do you think you guys have played well at home this season?
We?
Yeah.
I don't know. I think it's. You're used to the ice, the rink. You got your fans behind you and stuff like that. So we've been feeling good at home, and hopefully that continues today.
Austin and Mitch together again. What stood out about the chemistry they had last season?
Obviously, they're one of our top players, and they have good chemistry. And Mitch is obviously a very good passer, and Matty can shoot the puck. So they've had some good chemistry here last couple of games too. So it's fun to see.
So too about like getting to know Liljegren, not so much on the ice but off the ice. What stands out to you about him in person?
He's a funny guy. A little goofy at times. Works hard, extremely hard off the ice, and he's been having a good year. So we're all happy for him.
What are you liking about his on-ice game right now?
I think he just battles hard. Doesn't give up on any pucks. Obviously had some huge saves for us in the last couple of games. So I think we could play a little bit better in front of him as of late. But yeah, he's been great for us.
John's approaching his 1,000th game. He's a player who's never satisfied. You talked about his skating. He's a guy that's always working his craft. As a young player, what stands out to you about that? And does it show you that that's part of what makes him and what you need to be to continue on as an NHL player?
Yeah, I think it's just his work ethic on and off the ice. I mean, does the same thing every day when it comes to the rink, take care of his body and stuff like that. And I think for a young guy like me, that's, when you realize what you have to do to, be in the league for a long time. So it's a great example for young guys and obviously a good leader for a group.
What stands out to you about Zibanejad?
Good shot. His long hair. I don't know. It's just a great player. I think their top line there has some good chemistry as well. Kind of the same thing. Panarin, good passer. Zibanejad, really good shot. So I have to stay on top of them.
As a defenseman, when that Bunting-Matthews-Marner line gets rolling around in the offensive zone, what are you seeing? What do you appreciate about when they're dominant together?
I think they're just good at holding onto pucks. They know where everyone is on the ice and just, try and be open for a pass and move the puck to one of those guys.
What would it take for you to miss a morning skate?
I just think for me, it's like part of a warm-up. So it's something I've done, obviously, for most of my career, so I just don't want to change it up too much.
Have you ever missed one that wasn't on?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I mean, there's times where you just don't feel it, or back-to-backs, obviously, stuff like that. So,
what are you liking about what you're seeing from Samsonov right now?
I think all year, our goalies we've given us that confidence to play in front of them. I think Sammy, when he's feeling it, he's reading the play so well. You can just see it, and it's not just straight shots, his deflections, tips, and seam plays. He's there before the puck gets there, and then just his overall game. And you saw last game, he reads the play so well. He got an assist because of it last game. So no, you can just see. It's like with any player, goalies are the same. You can see that confidence, and I think in a position that's that important, when they have that confidence, the whole team feeds off it.
Does he do a lot of talking on the ice?
Yeah, he'll talk for sure on where guys are, I think, and when we're going back for pucks, what he sees, so he can hear them out there for sure, I think. And then it's on us too as D-man, when he goes out and plays pucks, we got to let him know where to play it, and I think he's done a really good job at that too. I think that's a big part of goaltending that's never talked about, but it's playing pucks or stopping pucks in the right areas, and he does a good job of it.
Maybe even more so nowadays than when you came into the league. Is that just with the speed of the game that much more important to help out the D?
Yeah, there's no real holdups anymore. They call it for interference, so you gotta rely on your goalie to when he does get the puck to put it in good spots for you. And I just find it's a big part of the game, stopping rims and stuff like that. But it's definitely way more important now than it was, just because you can't hold up anymore, really.
Mark, what stood out to you with John, since you've gotten to know him on a more personal level as teammates here, as he approaches his 1,000th game, and how he's able to keep going and stay ahead of the curve in a lot of ways?
Yeah, I knew John for a long time, just playing against him, and then throughout the summer skating with him a few times in the area. But just his approach to everything around the game as well as on the ice. I mean, he takes care of himself like nobody else. He does the right things for his body off the ice. He trains the right way. He's a great example for all the young guys here. He's a great guy to have as a captain, and he just puts the work in. I don't know how else you can explain it, but he puts the work in. He works every part of his game, whether it be offensively, defensively. You see him out there working, and sets a great example for all of us. So it's been nice to play with him. Coming in last year and coming in this year, he's been a real example. And I know I'm older than him, but you can look up to guys like that as well.
What was it like in the lead up to Game 1000 for you?
Oh, it's exciting. It's a big thing. I think when you start looking at it and you start looking at the list of guys who've played in 1000, it's not a huge list, and it's a hard thing to do. And I think it was a very proud moment for myself and my family when I went through it, and I'm sure Johnny's looking forward to it. He has it circled for sure on his calendar.
Austin and Mitch together again now. Looking forward to a run of them together. What stood out about their chemistry when you saw it up close last season?
Yeah, I mean it's pretty obvious. They feed off each other and they read each other really well. You can see it right from. They haven't played on a line lately this year or that much, but you can see it on the power play and stuff like that. Still, you can see their chemistry. They read off each other, and then even practicing against them. I mean, they're two guys who they have an unbelievable skill at reading plays and picking off passes, and I think both of them do that really well. And we all know how good offensively they are. So it's I think our top guys have been really good all year, and I don't think it really has mattered who's played with who, but switch it up a bit and see how it goes, I guess.
Sheldon spoke about how he's had conversations with you about load management. We talked about the morning skates. I guess he's giving you the choice of practice or skill sessions. I'm just wondering what's your perspective on staying fresh, knowing you're getting on in years, and at the same time wanting to keep the engine running.
Yeah, I think it's a balance. I think you get into a rhythm. You want to get in a good rhythm during the season, but for me, it's just picking my spots now. I think I'm coming around to the idea of being smarter when it comes to things like practice days, like you said, picking between skills or practice or being out there the whole time. And then there's other things like pregame skates, just a rhythm thing. It's more of a warm-up than anything. I guess we'll talk more and more as the season goes on, but as a player, you just want to be in that rhythm where you feel your best during the game. So I got to find that.
You change anything away from the game at all, though, Mark? Like, never mind what you do when you're here, but once you go home, does life change at all for you, given the age and management and all that?
Yeah, you got to take care of yourself off the ice on off days. Really get your rest, and obviously diet's huge. But no, I mean. Maybe in the gym, little modifications. I mean, you're definitely not lifting like you were 20 anymore, but just maintaining, just taking care of. Again, it's all about the game. I mean, everything else is you're getting ready for the game. You just gotta do whatever you can to feel great in the game.
You probably don't love the bye week, I'm guessing, considering your desire to keep.
It'll be nice to get a few days and really get the body. Recharge, but it does take you out of rhythm. I don't care who you are, if you're me or if you're a 20-year-old, it takes you right out of the rhythm of the season. But what I do like about the bye week is you get back and you get that practice with the team before, whereas like the Christmas break, you just get a pregame skate. So get a practice, and then we'll jump into the back-to-back and see how it goes.
Sheldon, what do you guys have to do to flip the script on the Rangers after the earlier loss to them?
Well, I just got to score more than one goal. We played a good hockey game when we were down there, and looking back at it, we did a lot of good things in that game, just didn't score enough.
With Austin and Mitch back together, obviously we know what they've done in the past. What are your expectations? Just more of the same of that, or do you see room for them to grow together?
I mean, there's always room to grow for sure, but I think, you're just looking for those guys to continue to play well individually with their own game and their own pace and their own habits and all those sort of things, and then the chemistry and being able to find each other on offense, that should come together over time. And that was one thing I really liked, that I thought right from the drop of the puck in the second period the other night that really sparked our team, is just the way that those two started to move the puck around. I thought just brought the game to life. I think that's the type of impact they can have on our team in terms of really, giving our team a boost and energizing the group, giving the group confidence. All those sort of things can come when those guys are really playing the way that they can. And then obviously we saw at the same time with John and Will when they're connecting, and then you've got both lines going like that, you become a tough group to stop. So, we're just, go get those guys back together and just really look to have a sound team game inside of all of that. But if those guys coming back together can energize the group here as we go through the final stretch before the break, then it would be good for us.
When it had gone so well for about 2.5 months with John and Mitch and Austin and Rielly, when you come to a point in the game like you did the other night where you felt something needed to change just to spark everything, it goes into giving that a longer run as opposed to just using that as a spark and then going back to the way it happened.
Just the way that the players responded. I mean, keeping it the way that I had for the last couple of months, it's a lot longer than I had expected it to. To me, Matthews and Marner work really well together, and I always saw it going back to that. But it was going well for us as a team. It was going well for all of them as individuals, so there was no real need to switch it. I think here of late, things have not gone as well, for both groups. The individual players have maybe had some moments of greatness, but to me, the groups haven't really gone as well. And then when you just make a switch and both groups really hit, I think it's just natural to just stay with it. But the fact that for such a long period of time it worked the other way gives me confidence to flip it back if I need to, and work within that. So I think that it's really great that the players have just embraced whatever we've asked them to do and whoever we've asked them to play with.
Because of the success you had for a couple of months going that way, and knowing that you could always go back to Austin and Mitch whenever you needed, is this the most comfortable that you've been since you've been here, knowing how you can play with those pairs in your top six? I'm thinking of the playoffs in mind. That
Yeah.
You've got a couple of tricks now.
Yeah, a big part of that is Willie and the way that he's played this season and the consistency that he's played with. It's made it so that no matter who he's with can be confident, comfortable that they're going to have a guy that's going to be there, that's going to push the pace and is going to make a play or finish a play, going to hold up his end on the defensive side of it. So all of those sort of things have allowed it to work no matter where we've put different guys. So yeah, that's it. But consistency is a daily thing. So we'll continue to stay at that with all of our players.
Sheldon, in the big picture, it seems like the team's defensive results have improved this year. I'm wondering beyond personnel, what you attribute some of those gains to.
I think it's just a mindset. I mean, I think it's, last season I thought we did a lot of good things defensively. Really, the last couple seasons I thought we've done a lot of good things defensively, and I think that has continued. I think the injuries that we had on defense, really got everybody's attention in terms of the details and the necessity to stay focused on really playing a great team game to help insulate our defense. So I think that plays a role. And I think just to make up of our teams a little bit different as well, I think we've added some guys with real defensive utility in the bottom end of the group. I think that helps consistently throughout the game. At times maybe we're not generating as much offense, in particular in the bottom six, but I think defensively we've given up a lot less than we have in the past as well. So I think that helps a lot of that perception in terms of the stats as a whole, or us being very consistent line to line defensively.
Talk about John's ability to raise his game and change things would seem to continue to get to the level that he wants to be. But there's been good times and bad times here with him. What stood out to you about him as a leader and a person? behind the scenes when things haven't gone well and when they have gone well?
Just the fact that he just stays true to himself in terms of his preparation, his routines that he goes through, how he takes care of himself in the gym, his nutrition, his rest, all those kind of things. He stays true to that, yet at the same time has recognized or embraced change and opportunities to improve, whether it's just skating or things in the gym, or modifying his training. You know, he's stayed true to himself and what's given him a chance to be successful through his life and through his career. But also at the same time, as he's gotten older, he's adapted to change with the resources that are around him, and I think that gives him opportunities to continue to grow.
Beyond the big saves, what are you appreciating about Ilya's performance of late? I know some of his teammates have talked about confidence, and he mentioned post-game that it's not just the big saves. There's other things within that is working.
Yeah, I think it's just the process, that they go through in terms of, the plan that you want to see the goalie play with. And obviously Curtis is a lot more dialed into that than I am, but as we go through it in terms of what the expectations are, and he's showing me clips of things, sometimes maybe even when the puck doesn't even get to the net, but it's just if it got to the net, that he's in perfect positioning and his depth is right, he's tracking the puck well, he's reading the play well, all those sorts of things that don't necessarily show up on saves all the time, but just that he's ready and he's focused. And sometimes it's even more important because it fuels the big saves and everything, that your process is right. So if the puck's not coming, maybe you're not getting a lot of shots, you're not getting a lot of chances, but your process is really focused and very sharp, that when the chance comes, you're just going to take care of it and make it look easy. I think that's what we've seen from him as he's gotten into rhythm here, and that's of course encouraged us to keep him going.
With Mark Giordano, you obviously had an opinion of him before he got here. I wonder, now working with him day to day, what have you learned about him, person, player?
Yeah, the first thing is I just didn't have a great enough appreciation for how much he battles, and whether it's shot blocks and getting in lanes or recovering or competing at the net front or engaging physically to kill plays and kill cycles. So there's that part of it, and then you just really learn to appreciate it. In addition to that, he rarely puts himself or his teammates in a bad spot. He makes very good reads to make sure that the opposition has to come through him. The mistakes that he makes are very few. Defensively, there's not a lot of times where you notice somebody getting by him or him making a poor read. And to go back to the earlier question, I think having him for an entire season to this point, I think, is another reason why defensively we've made steps.
Turnout was pretty light for the morning skate, even by regular standards. I'm wondering what it's been like managing the workload during this pretty busy.
Yeah, it's been, we had a shorter practice yesterday. We do want to keep the intensity high and such, but yeah, it's usually a pretty good indicator of where the guys are at in terms of energy levels and such. And we are in an every other day type of rhythm here, and we're trying to be mindful of that. The break is approaching, so that's a good thing that the guys can see on the horizon here. Yet you still want to make sure you're not just saying, hey, let's empty the tank all the way through here, and then the break we can recover for. We still have to be smart in terms of how we're managing this, so we'll take tomorrow off as a group to get ready for the rest of the week from there. But I'm glad that the players in the morning skates like this, you really want to put it on them in terms of what they need to have themselves ready to play tonight. We use the term a lot that morning skate is optional and the game is mandatory. So we need them to be ready to go for that. And they know their bodies, they know what they need. So if they felt some more of them that traditionally would go out maybe on the morning skates, if they're taking that off, that tells me that they know where they're at and they're making sure they're going to have what they need for energy tonight.